Whew, what a day. I dropped off my hats and socks to the Salvation Army. I happened to see a tub full of my stuff. I don't think they've given anything out yet because I was like, well, if that's the case, I don't know why these aren't going. But anyway, they'll probably do it next week for the holiday. But somebody is moving and they want to get rid of the plants. I said, well, if nobody picks it up in another week, then I'll go ahead and take them all and bring them to work. So we got Dieffenbachia. A lot of these are Sansevierians of different species. This is, Sansevierian. This is a Sansevierian cylindrica. Its tentacles go all over. This one's going way over here. There's even a longer one somewhere. And then in the kitchen, I have a bromeliad. Its leaves are curling because it's just like dry. More Sansevierians. More Sansevierians, exact same things. That's probably a peace lily or something, or a, not sure, it looks familiar. And then this is the lemon surprise, whatever it's called. I lost the terminology. But anyway, these are all the plants. I'm going to be busy doing repotting because I want to present them good to work. So let's go into a grocery haul. Hello there. I'm going to prop you up on a bottle of Blackberry Crown. All right. Grocery shopping. I have a rib roast that's fermenting in the seasoning at about 3 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and start searing it, and then I'll put it in the oven. So I bought some onions and potatoes for that. Some new coffee that was out, which was pumpkin spice. And this is 12 ounces. So I don't know if you guys have that in the store. If you try pumpkin spice, it costs $6.99. I got several chocolate cream pies, graham cracker bottom with chocolate flavored cream filling, finished with cream whipped topping and shaved chocolate. It looks delicious. And then I also got, when I saw it, banana cream pie from the same company. I would prefer banana over chocolate. So we're going to pop these in the freezer. And my rule of thumb is, in this secondhand store, if you see something you've had in the past or something looks good, grab everything you want of it, because 2 days later it could be gone, or they won't restock it for a long time. It's like eggnog right now. I went over to the store and they had just a small little, however many ounces, they don't have the gallons. So I went over to Safeway yesterday, Friday, and I grabbed the 2 last gallons that were there, and I'm like, wow, this stuff's going quick. And then this is Magnolia Bakery Banana Pudding Red Velvet Cookie Bites. Looks good. Speaking about cookie bites, at our work, I do suggestions, but I do not partake into decorating our door for this time of year. But some brains came up with, we had huge, they took some foam, that pipe foam, that expanding foam, and they made a twirl, and then they put a whole mess of eggshells of like the fake Easter eggs, half those shells inside of it, and they made 2 huge cookies. And they put that on the door, and then there's a note sticking down, and you know how kids write backwards and sloppy, said, "Dear Santa, hope you like these cookies," you know. And then we had a glass of milk, which was made out of a bottom of a liter bottle soda, and it came up and had a little decoration, so it looked like a glass that had milk in it, that had a, the glass was decorated. And then we did a whole mess of things around there. And then we had some elves, and one elf had a silicone spatula, and the other one had a rolling pin because they were cooking. Well, then all of a sudden down the hall, a couple offices, they were doing a theater type thing, saying now featuring, and it had all the Christmas movies. Well, in the middle of their curtain of their door, they had Cookie Monster. And we're like, oh, no, this isn't going to happen. Sure enough, Cookie Monster moved from there to another office closer to us, and then stayed there for a few days. And then all of a sudden, overnight, he grabbed both of our foam cookies, put it inside. It was glass windows that had metal barriers in the back because they used to use those. So he was inside of there with the cookies, and they had actual cookie crumbles all over the floor and stuff. And then there's a sign with Cookie Monster on it saying, I'm just here for the cookies. So when we first saw Cookie Monster down the hall, we took one of those toy soldiers, which we call state troopers. We put him on the wall across from the door, and then we made a makeshift camera, you know, like printed out paper and made a box out of it. And so it was surveillance over there. And then they did wanted posters of Cookie Monster, because the Cookie Monster that was in the window had this red bandana. So they got a picture that looked similar, and they did a photocopy and saying, wanted cookie smuggler, $500,000 reward, blah, blah, blah. And so whenever the cookies were taken, they put a piece of cookie not only on the floor and inside the windows with Cookie Monster, but they put a piece on top of that camera. It was so freaking funny. But then they had to return stuff because we got voted on Friday and we're the ones that won. It was so funny, though, the sabotage. So freaking funny. It's like, So yeah, that was fun. So I got some onions. And then I got some food for work. This is Zatarain's blackened chicken Alfredo, seasoned grilled white meat chicken, peanut pasta, and zesty cream Alfredo sauce. My cat is looking at something. It might be a bug. So I got 3 of those for lunch because I usually have things falling out of the freezer. And I usually have Alfredo and spinach, and it's getting boring. Stay, heel. And then last but not least, I have a bag of carrots. So I'm going to do carrots, onions, and potatoes. And I was debating whether to do the whole grill thing or turn it into an actual pot roast with. But last time I did that, I just barely ate it. And a lot of them went to waste, even though I froze it. I was just like, I lost my appetite. So I'll debate how I'm going to cook it. But nonetheless, I got a lot of planting to do. So thank you for joining me. And we'll talk to you next time an event happens. Bye-bye.